In Philadelphia, we memorialize our legends, our victories, our histories, our collective moments of pain. Philly, with its numerous celebrations of public art, is known worldwide for its icons. For WHYY Digital Studios, we explore the legend behind the legend, memorializing one of Philly's most recognizable hometown heroes. Then we'll talk to a Philly legend in the making. The Rocky statue is one of the most popular Philadelphia monuments. An estimated 4 million people make a pilgrimage to the statue each year. People from across the country.
I'm traveling from Florida. Audrey is in from Denver.
Across the world, travel to the art museum steps and pay homage to the patron saint of the underdog. Folks who look like Rocky, folks who talk like Rocky, come to pose and pay their respects. There is an entire fun run dedicated to his legendary training run. Rocky's story ignites people, not just boxers, but nurses, teachers, and kids too. So many can relate to the experience of putting in the work to fight for yourself.
Last year, I was 104 pounds heavier than I am now. This is my second 5K I ran this year.
When I first started off on the treadmill, I'm running 1 mile at 12 minutes. And now I run, an 8-minute mile.
A lady working in the tech field, that definitely is an up-and-coming struggle.
I'm in recovery, and I have 5 years of sobriety, and that's my underdog story.
As much as people identify with the Rocky story, the real-life inspiration for this tale has gone largely forgotten.
I don't recognize him, no.
I do not.
No, I do not recognize him.
I do not.
Wow, I'm ashamed, man. I forget his name.
Smokin Joe.
Joe Frazier. Smokin Joe. The OG underdog. The former sharecropper and Philly transplant from South Carolina who fought Apollo in real life. Joe Frazier came to Philly like so many Black Americans during the Great Migration, fleeing white supremacist violence and Jim Crow South. As a young father trying to make ends meet, he took a job in the slaughterhouse and dedicated his free time to the craft of boxing. Cutting his teeth in Philadelphia, one of the toughest boxing communities in the world, his team and dedication led him from Philly boxing clubs to the Golden Gloves, to the Olympics, to infamous bouts with some of the greatest fighters ever known. Joe Frazier, the real-life boxer who punched frozen meat and ran the art museum steps, all to create one of the meanest left hooks in boxing. This left hook would lead to Muhammad Ali's very first loss. By the end of his career, Frazier had 32 wins with 27 KOs under his belt. His daughter started the Smokin Joe Scholarship Fund, and Joe Frazier's gym served as a space for boxers and Philly youth to gather for 25 years. Frazier sought to create a supportive boxing community like the one that carried him. His influence is evident in Philly boxers to this day. Boxers like Maleek Jackson.
I've been involved in the sport of boxing since about the age of maybe 5. I come from a large family, I got 9 brothers. My older brothers used to team the little brothers up against them. And they used to be the coaches in the corners. And then when I had an opportunity to get out and about, the first thing I did was go to a recreational center. And then I found a world of sports there. I felt like life was running away from me at one point.
Maleek was incarcerated for 10 years, from 16 to 26. 3 of those years were in solitary.
Prison was the lowest form that a human being can exist on without actually being dead.
Maleek lost 2 brothers during his sentence. His older brother Daryl and his younger brother Azim.
When my little brother Azim was murdered when I was on my way out, I think that was a change. I started feeling like I need to answer questions about what I want to do in my life. During my time in prison, my love for boxing, it reignited. Boxing was a coping mechanism for me. It was a way for me to escape the realities of my circumstances. And it gave me hope in a place that was hopeless.
In 2013, Maleek was released from prison.
The next phase was for me to do something that was impactful for the community, for people that look like me, for people that have been in situations like me, and people that's like Azim. I founded the ADI. The ADI is the Azim Dukes Initiative, and it's named behind my brother who I lost when I was incarcerated. And the ADI is a boxing program that we run here at the gym. I also teach it at the old middle school, at his old middle school Monday through Friday. It's for kids that's vulnerable to gun violence, that come from inner city and poverty-stricken environments. If you look at what it does when you allow to express yourself and your individualism, and you look at people that suffer from depression, people ain't able to talk, to speak, to listen, don't got a voice. And with boxing, you're able to express yourself. It's like art.
A few miles north of Maleek Jackson's gym, Joe Frazier's gym is now a furniture store. Over the years, Philly boxing culture has changed, but Philly boxers have not. These fighters continue the tradition of training within a community.
When you talk about legacy, it's a man's life, what he left behind. What did he leave behind? Why am I able to do what I'm able to do in the city of Philadelphia? How I'm able to use boxing to be transformative in other people's lives. My goals and my aspirations to open up my own gym, these things was done before me. And they was done by the likes of Joe Frazier. And I think that a lot of people follow in his footsteps without even knowing. And I'm one of them.
Monuments aren't just made of stone and bronze. They're made into icons by retold stories, by gathering, by revisiting and reenacting, by remembering. We, the collective we, get to choose who we honor. For more information about Joe Frazier, Rocky, Maleek Jackson's community projects, and the statue, our podcast exploring the Rocky Monument, check out the links below from WHYY Digital Studios. Let us know in the comments, who would you like to see as a monument, and why?